That's a pretty nice looking truck. Wait, let me phrase that. That's a pretty nice looking truck right there. Except for, yep, got another project to tackle and bring back to life. I'm making an exception on this one. It's a really nice truck. It needs to be saved. It's got a salvage title, but this one's, it's classy enough. We're gonna let that slide and bring this one back to life. Let's go take a look at it. I'll give you a little backstory on it. She was part of a theft recovery, went to auction kind of recovery, and now we're gonna V-Belt & Son recovery this thing. 2001 24 valve automatic, factory gold. That's rare, isn't it? It's gotta be. Let's look at it. Well, let's take a walk around of a new project for a decent price. Obviously it's injured, and let's go ahead and investigate the extent of that injury right now. We know right off the bat we need to get a bungee cord to hold that on there. Leads me to believe there might be trouble up in the front end here. How bad is the trouble? Well, let's investigate a little bit further. So, yeah, we had axle relocation involved. Turbo's not there. It's an automatic. See the dipstick there. Oh, radiator's not there either. Must be a detective. But for real though, this truck, I think he said it was stolen and went to auction, and it's got aftermarket control arms on it. And I believe if this thing had, if this thing had stock ones, I think this truck would have saved out a lot better. But we got issues now because these control arms didn't give up like a stock one did. It just mangled stuff on both ends. Actually injured the frame. Yeah, I haven't seen one that bad before. But sheared off the shock, which is to be expected as a weak link. But the frame is supposed to have about a finger's width right here. So the frame did get tweaked over just a little bit. Frame shop shouldn't have any trouble straightening that out. But since it's such a minor amount, I think we're going to try and do it here. Yeah, that's going to throw things off, but I think the brackets and stuff for the control arms are shot. So cut those off, or we can long arm this bad boy. So we got to do some research to see about that kit. But the engine and everything's supposed to behave as it should. And this truck's only got 150,000 alleged miles on it. They have, oh yeah, you know what? It does check out for the fact that this thing's stolen, because I'll show you right here. We're gonna have to get new ingredients for the key. Yeah, if that's a friggin' booster breaker off or screwdriver if I've ever seen it. Yeah. Oh yeah. They had this bad boy dialed. They broke that ignition and worked out perfect. So we're gonna need some stuff for this thing. Dash, airbags, front end parts, a lot of them, fenders and all that stuff. I already have those. Radiator support, I have all that. Intercooler, radiator, I have all that. So first thing we got to do is start building up a list. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking we're gonna probably just swap this axle, because that tire is tilted in. I don't know what, if it broke a ball joint, what the hell could it have bent on one of these knuckle ends here? What? Everything looks fine. I don't know. Why is that tilted in? Oh, maybe wheel bearing broke or something? Because that, how could you break that? It's cast. You could break it, but how could you bend it and still be functional? We know this truck, it's got the bent frame. We got to see if we can straighten this thing out in-house. First and foremost, if we can't do that, there's no real point in diving into the truck elsewhere. If this thing's got to get sent off to another shop that might have to tear it down even further than this, might need a new frame. So let's hook mech-elect to this thing, let's tie it to a tree and just start yanking on it. Okay, learned some other stuff about this truck today. It's messed up. Sway bar Bracket got ripped off. One bolt's still there. The other one gone. I'd imagine the track bar somehow held on for dear life, but it's probably mangled. Doesn't matter. All of it's trash anyway. It appears to have some aftermarket kind of steering components, but it doesn't matter because they snapped off the steering box. Oh, yeah, and we already knew this. There's supposed to be about a finger's width gap between the AC compressor, which is kaput, and the frame. So make contact right here, pushed everything over. I need to get everything lined up so that we can put the front clip back on it, and it's not really that far out, but it's pretty far out at the same time. So we got it hooked up to the expensive frame machine, and yep, let's see what it does. All right, this is out of an early 2nd gen. There's our gap. First knuckle, that's all it fits. Well, after we pulled on it, one round we got, I'm not gonna put my finger in there, do something, you know, let's go. But we got about half as far as we need to, which is pretty good, all things considered. Man, if this would have been a 1st gen frame, it would have been completely freaking toast. 2nd gen, way thicker. Double boxed up in here too, unlike early 2nd gen. Well, that's about where we need it to be. This is definitely a game of patience, especially since I don't have a frame machine. I did a little bit down here, did a little bit up there, did a little bit over there. That one I still got to work on, but I think I'm gonna reconvene in a different location. Oak tree is probably gonna get an undercut in the backside, but it's got tension on it right now. When I let off the tension, then it wants to go back. So what I'm gonna do is just let it ride right here for a little bit. Check out how hard I'm pulling on this. This is a 23,000 pound machine pulling on this rig, and it's getting her straight, but man, these frames are damn tough. It only needed to move it about ½ inch. We're getting there. It cracked that. Anything before the axle differential, you could cut that off, put new stuff on it. It's nothing but a core support and bumper support out here, but I think we're real close. One last order of business. I was talking to my buddy Matt. He's got a gasser truck that's a 98, which would be the same components up here. I think the late 2nd gen's a little different than the early. So Cornell and I are gonna go pick that up, and a Ford project on Wednesday. That should help complete this thing quite a bit. I'm doing a little heating and beating and tugging on this. It's real, I mean, I've done a couple of these repair jobs like this before. The most extensive area that was hurt is because these stupid aftermarket control arms bent the ever-living everything out of all that. The normal sheet metal stuff will just taco for a reason, you know. But we got lucky here, and it just, like, you can see my gap just right like the other truck is. And we just got to get this thing back square, which I think it moved a little bit more, but I ain't got enough leverage with that guy, so I'm going to go get a chain binder. Talk to me, baby. It had a downwards crease right there. I couldn't get in to beat on it, so I just cut a relief. That's acceptable, because that's why God invented welders. Or whoever did, I don't know, Abraham Lincoln or Thomas Edison, I think it was. Sparked up a light bulb a little too much, melted his beard. That's starting to come right out of it once I cut that relief. And right here had a roll. Tap that roll down a little bit. That acted like a little bit more of a relief over there too, but damn, that's not too bad. We'll just let it sit on there and stew on its issues for a little bit. The hook is hitting the sidewall right here. so it's not wrinkling up the center of that. Man, it's close. Somehow, by the graces, we managed to straighten the frame out enough to be manageable to put everything else back on there. Now, these things weren't perfect from factory, so we don't have to aim for perfect. It will be, you know, new components will be added to this truck, and we're going to find out stuff later on that we're not seeing right now. So we'll get the fender mocked up on there, core support bracket, and we'll go from there. Something happened here overnight. Axle just fell out of the truck. Then somebody took a sawzall to it. It's just all mangled. All mangled. It looks like it got into it really heavy, and then they pulled it back straight a little bit. So the mount tabs, those things are all, that's what the real bummer is, because all this, you just swap out an axle. But I think we're gonna have to, I could put on one from a different truck. This one up here looks okay, but the bottom one's garbage. Either that, swap those out. Well, it's got to be swapped out either way with either factory or long arm stuff, but both sides are pooched. So where's my lightning scissor thing? Edward scissor scratcher here. Let's get involved. I know somebody's gonna be like, oh, they're tweaked. All right, this thing got hit hard. It's either gonna let me have it or pinch me. Hey, let me have that one. That mini slap. What the hell? That thing just fell apart. Where'd it go? Where's the bearing and rod? What the hell? Oh, that's garbage. Okay. Well, we're disconnected all the way. Sway bar. Angle dangle. Well, this is a part where I need to take side by back up there to get the tractor, which is way over there, or I could use that one, but that wouldn't really work. But then I decided to just use my messed up in a ditch pull me out device. Hey! Oh, that's what I thought. Really digging in like a thunder here. Come on. Looks like I better get the parking brake on. Alright, good deal. Now, as far as I know, it's basically the hub's a little bit different and the brakes are a little bit different on late and early second gens. That's what the difference is. I couldn't quite tell what was really messed up, but this tire over here looked like it was tweaked in. And now if that's got something to do with where the ball joints mount on, then that axle's completely pooched. But if it's just a ball joint, we could fix on that. But then just this is the good side, and look how tweaked it is. They're not doing their job. Yeah, the straps are on the bottom, but this one here is just completely roasted. And really don't want to try to tackle that. Not when parts, the whole differentials are easily available. I got a couple, but they're early second gen stuff, so. Yeah, it's quite the wallop right there. Yeah, if you're wondering why the truck's not in the shop, it's because it is immovable now. I don't have a dolly system capable to roll around a Cummins, and I could tinker on this a little bit till I run out of parts, and it's not in the shop in my way. So I think what I'm going to do now is go ahead and tear into the front here and see what all we got going on. Looks like the fan survived. Except for that one blade. Get out of here. Nope. It's messed up. Bent it on the shaft. So this thing's pooched. We need to get that bad girl off of there. Replace her. Inspect the harmonic balancer, make sure it's good. Do front main. And then we can probably put one of these on it. Need to have Cornell order a bunch of goodies. Oh yeah, the clutch flew apart and it's got it in the lock position. Okay, so the auction yard said they jumped the truck and got it running, so they led us to believe this is a running, driving truck. I mean, it was before somebody wrecked it. So what we're gonna do is the standard maintenance stuff while we have everything exposed. Front main seal. We're gonna go ahead and hit the vacuum pump seal, reseal that bad boy. Timing cover, gasket on the outside of it. Just the simple stuff that's easy to get to while we're there. I've showed tearing these things apart many a times. Do the front main seal. 24 valve's got a different housing for the timing, but it's still got a killer dowel pin. So if you want to cheat, you can just kind of tink tink on that, but this one's way tucked in the back. I haven't actually seen a 24 valve one work its way out of there. Maybe it's different, maybe not, but that's still an exposed pin that I can see. But what I'm doing here, just go ahead and knock off the silicone, because the 24 valves call for silicone. And it's dumb that they do. But while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and do the seal for the vacuum pump. It looks like it's fine, but since I'm already here and everything's out of the way, preventative, I have it on the shelf. I end up having timing cover, gasket, which I just said calls for RTV, but just wait for me. And I'll do the front main anytime I'm in a vehicle this close at all, like no problem. Well, let me show you. You buy yourself a 12 valve gasket seal kit, or 12 valve front main seal kit rather. They come with a gasket rather than RTV. It's the same exact price, and it's got the same hoopty to fit on there. Trust me, it lines up. Just, you know, come on baby, work with me. Yeah, get in there. This one's a little contoured, but those bad boys fit. They're way easier to work with something like this. And yeah, you don't have to mess with RTV and stuff next time. Well, look at this. This is a gasket seal kit from Amazon. And like I said, always order the seal kit as a 12 valve one, and you always get the gasket. This one is not right. It don't fit. But if you order a front main for a common rail, it's going to be the same seal for the same price. Might as well order it and have some of these laying around, because look at that. That bad boy fits. The other one was short here. Bolt holes didn't line up. Don't know what the hell that goes to, but the seal's the right one. I hope. Kind of scared me for a little bit, because I was like, did I slide everybody on camera? Nope. eBay did. Been on this old girl about 4 hours today. Timing cover. That thing's ready to go back on there, but we're gonna go ahead and pull the vacuum pump off. There's a seal inside there, and well, it looks moist, so that's even better cause to go ahead and pull this bad girl, especially when you got nothing in the way. Why not make it happen? And pulled the steering box, pulled that off, pulled the seized up kind of clutch on AC compressor, pulled that off. Oh, and I pulled the whole front end out of it. That was the quickest part. The rest of this stuff's just been, well, for one, I hosed her down with everything I could to get the grease and stuff popping off there. These damn overflow breather buckets they put right here are crap. So this guy was smart, who rode it before he let it get stolen. He had a little extender on it, just send it atmosphere. But time to go eat lunch. Well, I got the Portacool just within range of keeping me somewhat cool, but I was able to be smart about this, and I just left the power steering pump hooked up to all the hoses and everything, so I didn't have to, you know, bleed red all over the place with power strain fluid or ATF or whatever they're running in the old girl. Let's see here, make sure gasket surface is a-okay. Where's the gasket? There it is. And get my bolts lined up, throw them in a bucket right there. There's the bottom one, top one. Ooh, you know what? This is what I hate, to go back on the truck. It'll take 1 minute to go in there and hit this with a wire wheel, and your socket or your wrench goes right on there. Easy peasy. Boom. Clean. Clean. Easy to go on, easy to come off. Keep in mind, this truck is a 22-year-old rig. She's gonna have a little bit of leaks over time. Even if it's not a bad leak, eventually it's gonna start coating stuff and not look that good. When I did restoration on Grandma's truck, every bolt that came off that truck, it got wire wheeled before it got put back on. Every single one of them bad boys, no exception. Now the difficult thing is you got to get that gasket to stay where you want, and I didn't grease it up. A little bit different working on a 24 valve doing this, because there's extra wiring harness in the way going down that ECM. Can you see me? Or can you see the project? Ah, I missed it. Come on. Gotta get in that bracket down there. Son of a batch of cookies. So close the first try, and I had the gasket and everything. We just knew it wasn't going to be quite perfect, because how often do you get it first try? 50% of the time, you get it first try every time. Did I say that right? Confidence. Confidence or confidence? Either way, get the job done. See, now, with the timing cover off, I can get right. Where's my bolt? I can line it up right here, so I'm glad I took the time to do this now rather than get a phone call saying we got something leaking down there. Oh, good. Addressed it ahead of time. All the hoses are still hooked up. Digging it. Long-winded Larry, come on. Make sure that gasket's doing what we want. Yep. Gasket's doing what we want. Don't forget to hook up your oil feed. We'll be good to go. Okay, I think I addressed all that I needed to right here. Things to look out for. Make sure that little keyway isn't completely wallered out. This truck, judging by the transmission oil pan, she ain't a heater because I didn't put a deep dash on her. But I went ahead and just tapped on the side of that guy just a little bit. You see where the punch hit? Just to make that hole not round. So if that thing ever does decide to walk out a little bit, which I don't know if they do on these ones, never seen it, but it's still open, like I said earlier. Can't really go nowhere. Got our bolts tight, wiring harness hooked back up. Let's go ahead and put the front main cover back on. Oh yeah, did I show you guys the problem we had with this thing? Yeah, you really got to watch out for these, you know, steering boxes, because, you know, sometimes just cut me wide open, son of a bitch. All right, we're back in action. I think it's kind of warm out here because my phone lasted a little bit and then it died in the heat, and I had to go put it in the freezer to get it turned back on. But this is a little trick that I do for putting that gasket on there that makes a world of difference. You got two different size bolts, lengths in here. Ones that thread in right from the tip, like those ones, and then you got ones that go all the way through that actually hold the cover, housing, and everything right to the block. So what we do here is get our gasket all lined up, get two of these bad boys of the long ones, and put them into the short category so everything can line up and have room to play. I'll show you why here in a second, because we got to slide our new seal on there. And it makes it a lot easier if you don't have to hold it up at the same time. So let's see here. Boom, boom. Chicken dinner. It did fall out a little bit right there. It did. Son of a gun. Before I get too carried away and start torquing it down, you can pull the cover off just a little bit. Make sure that seal did not taco over on you, because that it's not a bad job to do this right now. I mean, it's super easy. Somebody took the whole front of the engine and stuff off, or the front of the truck. But you have to go back through, get to all this, see all these little suckers. Go back to the bench and start cleaning some of these up. Thought hitting them with a pressure washer was gonna do the trick, but not. Yeah, some of them look pretty good. Oh, it's fine. The pressure wash candidates did great. I've also kind of come to the conclusion that I think I'd rather buy Milwaukee little guys, and all the bigger stuff just keep going back to Makita. I'm not having good luck with the batteries from Milwaukee, and I don't really like the style. You got a dual pinch. Makita's pretty nice like that. But I gotta hand it to you, these little M12s, handy little devils. Now, where did my deep 10 go? Where you at, sucker? There you are. Yeah. Ground wire got damaged. You know, when they ran it into whatever they ran it into when they're running away from whoever they were running away from. Put a little bit of that juice on there. First time trying this stuff. You ever use it? Let me know. Buddy said, try it. Kicks ass. Oh yeah, look at that. I even put that thing in the right spot. I don't believe it. Oh, good. Leaking when it's not supposed to be. Check this out. Gold harmonic balancer. You know what that means? This is a rare truck. It's got, no it's not. Great Britain. Man. Yes. I'm not afraid to just source from all over the planet. I tell you what. Do 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 do. Torqued. Don't break those. Went ahead and hooked up a battery. It's a concoction, so I could roll down the windows, so I could start working in here. Needed to cool off about 6,000 degrees, but got the windows down for you. For me, but check this out. Remember those like movies back in the day where you just kind of smack it with your hand and it breaks the tumbler and then falls out and you stick a screwdriver in there? I wonder if that's still a thing. Let's see how many miles we got. 215. Yep. Not exactly what we're hoping for, but not 415, but here's where the trouble starts in. Gotta be careful. I don't know what the remedy for that crap is, but no bus. Damn it. What just, oh, I thought that was a bee sting, but thing's so damn hot. Felt like a bee sting. So screwdriver is exhibit A, an obvious ignition spinner device. But then we also discovered this in the floor. That's the rear window. Chintzy latch. Yeah, we know how they got in. What a shame, huh? What a shame. Well, this is going to wrap up my second day working on this thing. I might come back down after a while and knock out another hour or so. But this is still, I guess probably be a part 2 of the revival of this old truck. Really was in great condition. Somebody had put some time and effort into this truck and tried to keep it nice, and somebody had to steal it. And yeah, but that's where I step in. Some stuff that this probably should have been a parts truck, ran into the junkyard. Unfortunately, it does hold a salvage title. But the frame was injured, but not terribly bad. So we're just gonna push on through that. We got everything back to where it needs to be. I think the hood got racked a little bit, and I believe the reason why the dash looks like this and why the black piece around the front, yeah, we know they're brittle dash to start off with, but look at this thing. I'm pretty sure whoever stole it and wrecked it wadded themselves up into the dash, is what my guess is. So we'll see you guys on part 2. Thanks so much for watching. Keep a good eye on your truck. Screwdriver can take it, or a phone nowadays. I don't know, it's sketchy.